Good evening to all, and today, I would like to talk about browsers on Linux Riot. I would like to note that Google Chrome has become such a browser standard for this period, and this browser has become such a monopoly among other browsers. More precisely, it has become a standard. Here you can see three browsers. This is Google Chrome, this is Firefox, this is Max Tom. As you can see, they look very similar to each other. Probably a browser that is radically different from these. That is, it is radically different. There will probably be a Firefox smudge. Max is the same. It is a clone of Chromium. Chromium is the same Google Chrome, just uses free. More precisely, it is more free than Google Chrome. As you can see, they seem to be very, very strong. I think everyone will see that they are exactly the same in filling. That is, what's on the Max is that you can install the same applications on Chrome. I think probably, and themes. We'll check it out now. We have well, let's put this on. I didn't expect to see something different now. Well, sadly, this is just another clone of Chrome, as well as Opera. Basically, what's going on? Browsers are dying. So that they don't die completely, Chrome clones are made of them. The same thing happened with Opera. The same thing happened with Maxton. The Firefox ointment is holding up, but, as you can see, outwardly it becomes very similar to the same Chrome. Basically, browsers are popular in the leaders, probably Firefox and Chrome-like. But besides this, there are also, for example, Terminal, Console, that is, for those who use the terminal. There is such a browser. There are Lynx, Winx2, and Lynx and similar browsers, right? Yes, it's even convenient if, for example, you killed the X's, right? They're dying here. This is what Yandex looks like in this browser. So, it will be very convenient to read some information here. Yes, I think, even if you don't have any X's at all. For example, some server, and you need to read something on some site that is not loaded with all sorts of scripts and other stuff. Here is such a thing. Or there is another option, for example, the Dio browser. This browser is very, very simple. For example, you installed Linux on some Pentium 1, there it is 166, where there are 32 megabytes of RAM, some kind of 3 video card with 2 megabytes, right? Naturally, there will not be any heavy D, there will be a window manager, like an open box, something like that. Well, such a browser would be a pretty good option. Naturally, it will not display many pages very well, but it consumes very, very few resources. I probably found some kind of mistake. Probably to see. It looks so very classic, but that's not all. The browser is a huge pile. For example, there is Aurora. It gained great popularity on the Heiko operating system, but judging by the version, it has not been developed for a very long time. Now I'll install it for the sake of interest. We'll see. That is, I will not limit myself to the fact that I will show 2 or 3 browsers we will launch. That's our thing. It will work slowly. As you can see, it is generally suspended. The last version was somewhere in the year 2010. That's it. That is, we will get out of it. That's what I don't know at all. I'm not familiar with it. Cool. Browser for money. I thought only for Mac. There are several browsers there. Look, yes, a browser for money. I won't buy it. There is no review, but there are a couple of ratings, so not very good. Next, the default browser. Also for money. Interesting. The girls are dancing. So, recon it. This is the default browser for CD. So, I don't think it makes sense to install it, because it is very simple. It's so simple, there's no special feature. It's not special in any way. I think whoever put the CD will figure it out. Why don't I want to put it on? Because now, along with him, that is on my computer, that is, my rebellion is probably becoming a quarter CD. Then you don't really want to delete the whole thing, and it happens not to the end, and there are a lot of problems with it. Although, it may be necessary not to put anything there. Let's try this debt. It hasn't been developing for quite a long time either, but we'll see. Who knows, maybe something has been updated. As you can see, judging by the 19 prices, few people use this browser. Here in general, the browser header has generally gone somewhere far away. Well, you understand. That is, he is in general. He doesn't do anything at all. It is not even adapted for Unity, and most likely it is the last time. Well, you get it. The last time, probably, this browser was back in the days of GNOME 2. Probably the times when there was a GNOME 2 and 30 was updated. We will complete it and delete it with great joy. So, there's another browser here. This is only part of it. There are a lot of browsers here. Oh, Kobzilla. Pretty good. You see, judging by the assessment, although there are 2 of them, but he is quite protected. Immediately, the protection from advertising is worth it. Oops, Let's launch it. See the block. The interface is quite simple, something like a 3 and 6 DOB. We all love it very much, because starting probably with the 4th DOB, popularity began to fall on Fox, and people began to look for some alternative, because she actually DOB worked well, not very well. So, tools, block, so, download manager. And let's see the settings. There are such funny topics here. By the way, the settings are quite simple. So, the start page. That's right, the appearance. This is the default. That is, you can turn on the view of the old Chrome. Then this is the design theme. Something like that. Here's a Chanterelle version 3.6.3.5 made for it. Well, for Poppy lovers. Here is such a topic. Browser. What is interesting? A lot of new things have appeared. But you understand that I wanted to tell you that there are actually a lot of browsers. Some browsers are worth attention, some are not. And by the way, I forgot to tell you more about such a browser. It's called Midori. Very lightweight, very simple. He can use 2 engines, both the Hawk, which is used in the Firefox Mozilla, and the WebKit. If desired, it can be installed through repositories with different engines. Here we have search engines, very simple in settings, quite fast. Pretty fast. I can't guarantee you that any of these browsers will work well on this or that site. Well, it's not a bad option for a change. I will tell you that by default, the Flash player comes only with Chrome. You need to install a Flash player separately on Chromium. Either it's an ubuntu Flash player that goes in repositories, or install it from a third-party repository. How do I install a standard Flash player? You open the Application Center, write Adobe. Yes, we think immediately setting up the Adobe Flash player, right? Introduces. Well, you click Install, and you will have a Flash player installed. Thank you for your attention.